As the sun sets here in Provo, we're ready for our final game of the day. Welcome back, everyone, to Larry H. Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University for our final game of the day in this round one matchup between the Lehi Pioneers and the Riverton Silverwolves. All right, one more time, Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson here in the booth at Larry H. Miller Field. Well, Ty, whoever wins this game gets American Fork in the next round. And let me tell you, when the brackets came out for this matchup, you knew this was going to be a good one. Two of the best teams in the state, the 5A runner-up against the 6A semifinalist.
It is bound to be a battle. Both of these teams come into this tournament both determined, and more so it's just the matchup that I guess that Lehi and Riverton both have against each other that makes this such a good game. I mean, Lehi, finishing off the season 18-9, and then Riverton finishing off their season 20-7. So this is truly anybody's game, Alex. Both teams are known for great pitching, great hitting, and then once again, this is the way a 5 versus 4 matchup should be, and that's what we have here tonight.
And especially tonight, we have two of the best pitching staffs, I think, in the state going at each other tonight. But whoever comes out of this matchup and faces American Fork tomorrow in the second round and the winner's second round is going to be one battle-hardened team, especially if it's Riverton. Because remember, Riverton last 2 years ago beat American Fork to get the state championship, but then they got knocked out in the double elimination semifinals last year to set up American Fork's third in 4 years. So you know that Riverton is not willing to look past this game to get to American Fork tomorrow.
This is going to be a very big revenge story, I would say, for Riverton to come back. Lehi is going to be a tough task in order to do that, though, Alex. They are faced with this difficult challenge in playing the Lehi Pioneers. And I mean, Coach, head coach of Lehi, that's Applegate, correct?
Jay Applegate of Riverton, yeah.
Oh, sorry, yes. So He's going to be on his toes tonight, to say the least, for these two couple of teams. And, I mean, this is going to be a massive scattering report. It's purple against purple. Winner will face against the number 1 seed, American Fork.
And the loser will be relegated to face off against Syracuse tomorrow afternoon in our second elimination game. Zach Edwards, the Oregon State commit, brings the first pitch down. We are underway in our last game of the day as Ozzie Williams stands in and takes ball 1. That one hits the corner for strike 1, and it's 1-1. We'll bring you the starting lineups presented by Heidemann Associates in just a few moments as Zach Edwards kicks and fires and a excuse-me chopper back to the backstop by Ozzie Williams. Like we said, winner of this game gets American Fork. 2-1 pitch. That one bounces right up to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Zach Edwards is definitely the guy you want to have at the mound. Oregon State commit as of October of last year. And, I mean, he can wheel and deal pitches kind of left and right. It's just the way he goes. Not to mention that he has a batting average of .427 on the year.
2-2 pitch from Edwards. This one fouled off the inside leg of Williams. And if that's not enough, Zach Edwards, of course, a 3-year starter on the varsity basketball team. And he is a big man, 6'4", 230 pounds. I mean, he is really built for a pitcher. 2-2 pitch. High and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the count goes full.
Alex, if that isn't enough for you, he had a 90-mile-an-hour fastball at 17 years old.
That's insane. 3-2. Ball 4. And Ozzie Williams draws the walk, and the Lehi bench acknowledges it as Mays Madsen comes to the plate. He, too, a former member of the Lehi Pioneers football team, a wide receiver with head coach Ed Larson and that Lake Coast offense that Jake Hatcher and I dubbed. This pitch is high and away, ball 1.
Zach Edwards throwing a lot of high-speed pitches up in the top left corner. It's making it really, really difficult right now for Caden Allred to try to track his pitches.
1-0 pitch on the way. Runner goes off. Allred throws down a second. They got him! Well, Allred had trouble tracking the pitches, but he had no trouble gunning down Ozzie Williams. And that's a big first out here in this top of the first inning. And that was a perfect throw on line 2 from Caden Allred. 2-0 pitch coming now to Mays Madsen. That's right on the dot for the strike. 2 balls and a strike here.
Well, here's a little fun fact for you, Alex. Caden Allred, his pop time, which is from the catcher, from the catcher to second base, the throw out, he averages around 2:03 seconds. And to give you a reference, MLB average is right around 2:13.
Wow. 3-2. Now the count on Mays Madsen. Count once again goes full.
Yeah, Utah Tech commit getting it done.
That one is outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Zach Edwards. And with 1 out here in the top of the first inning, once again, the Lehi Pioneers have traffic. As Boston Drakulich will come up now, the left fielder, third of the order, and following him will be Cole Ybarra, the designated hitter, batter in cleanup.
Well, notice, Alex, this is the first time he's facing a righty. He's had a lot of pitches up and in the zone.
That one is right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Zach Edwards, at least from his perspective, most of his fastballs have been up high and in the corner. It's got to be a big fear if you're a righty batter facing at least 90-mile-an-hour fastballs up and in the zone.
And just
right at your elbow.
And just think about it, too. I mean, he's going to be bringing that 90-plus to Oregon State. I mean, the Beavers have to be thrilled that they're getting that as it's fouled off the end of the bat. And now it's 2 strikes. And the temperature here rapidly dropping here as the sun begins to set here in Provo, Utah. The lights are taking effect. It's 54 degrees with a north-northwest wind at 21 miles per hour now at the Provo airport. 0-2 pitch. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It is a much better start to the day than we had this morning. It was rainy and cloud and overcast. It was a fear we weren't going to start on time, but we did. 1-2 pitch. Just missed the low outside corner, 2-2.
Zach Edwards isn't getting very many calls. He's trying to paint these outside corners and trying to get them to bite. But Lehi won't bite.
2-2 pitch. High fly ball in the air to center field. Waiting and making the catch is the center fielder Carson Moody, and there are 2 gone now here in the top half of the first inning.
Now playing for 5, Cole Ybarra.
So here comes Cole Ybarra now to the plate, the designated hitter batting cleanup for the Lehi Pioneers. I mean, you can feel the tension and the energy and the electricity in this building. I mean, it is palpable.
Probably the most attendance we've had during the duration of 4 games.
There goes the runner. They're not going to throw down this time as that's ball 1, low and away. So this time, Allred doesn't pop and throw, and a clean steal by Mays Madsen over at first to second. And a runner in scoring position now with 2 out as Allred comes over and has a talk with Zach Edwards, who, by the way, Allred and Edwards played on the basketball team for the last 3 years.
And both are D1 college commits. Obviously, Allred to Utah Tech. He'll be playing baseball. These couple of seniors, they've seen their fair share of games.
And state champs as sophomores in 2022 as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Edwards. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 1. Home plate umpire says yes.
Well, I love Lehi's approach, getting the steal on a base runner, even though that's like a super difficult task with Allred, even though he already has 1 throw out tonight.
1-1 pitch. Down low and away, 2 balls and a strike now. A lot of deep counts, too, here by Edwards. We've seen a lot of deep counts here on all fronts by all 8 teams here this evening.
Notice how Edwards, whenever he's facing the righty batters, whenever he's facing the lefties, he was up high and in the corner. Now whenever he's against the righties, these are down low and to the waist on the opposite side.
That one is right there at the knee, strike 2.
At the knee and a little bit to the right, Alex.
Let's see if he goes right back to that spot or he tries to go high and away on the same side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second base. The kick and the fire. And the swing and the line drive and a right. That's a base hit. They're going to wave Madsen. Here comes the throw in from Hicks. They will not get the runner. An RBI double. And the Lehi Pioneers strike first.
At the plate, number 15, Brandon Manuka.
Man, did he get a pitch he liked right at the waist, Alex. That was coming in clutch. It was a fastball, theoretically. It was on the right side, too. You were talking about painting that corner. And fortunately, he caught one, and he went oppo on him.
So here comes Brandon Manukin, the catcher now, number 15, with a pinch runner out there at first. First pitch to Manukin is just above the letters there for ball 1.
Zach Edwards, once again, he needs to contain his pitches. It's only every few that he's managed to get into the strike zone, and Lehi's taking these pitches.
That one is caught on and missed with a lot of juice behind that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But Lehi is swinging on all the right pitches, as you've seen so far today, Alex. Everything outside they've backed off on, and I think they have Edwards figured out in this first inning so far.
That one is on the corner, but just misses as Allred had to snatch that back up a couple of inches.
And again, that's a close call, too. Like, that could go theoretically either way, right down the line, but yet all these Lehi batters, they've been backing off on Edwards.
2-1 pitch on the way. Runner at second. 2 out. High and inside, 3 balls and a strike. Runner is on second. 2 out, 3 balls and a strike to count. 3-1 pitch. That's at the knees for strike 2, and once again the count goes full. Three-two count, 2 outs, runner on second. Can Edwards get out of the jam and limit the damage to just the 1 run? Yes! The Rewind Sports Network proud to bring you coverage of the UHSA 6A Baseball Playoffs. Presented, our coverage is by Heidemann and Associates. Now it's time to bring you the starting lineups. It's time to see who Jay Applegate and Eric Madsen have assembled as their winning teams this evening. Like the team that's been assembled to win for you, the client. The Lehi Pioneers, as you just seen, Ozzie Williams, the second baseman, Maze Madsen, the shortstop, Boston Drakulich, the left fielder, Cole Ybarra batting cleanup, Brandon Manukin, fifth. Cooper Williams, the third baseman, will lead off the second. He's batting 6th. Dawson Brown, the right fielder, will bat 7th. Tanner Heaps, the first baseman, bats 8th. And rounding out the order is Gavin Yates, the center fielder. We'll get to the pitcher in a second, but for the Riverton Silverwolves, Carson Moody will lead off the bottom of the first, followed by catcher Caden Allred. Zach Edwards, the pitcher, bats 3rd. Cleanup is held by Drake Pearsall, the third baseman. Alex Vernon, one of the best first basemen in the state, bats 5th. The Salt Lake Community College commit Dylan Zulo bats 6th. In right field, Cohen Allred, the second baseman, bats in the 7th hole. Dallin Ellison bats in the DH spot, his 8th. And Easton Hicks, the Utah Tech football commit and the soon-to-be Salta, Argentina missionary, the left fielder, is the 9th batter in the order. And this order will face Braden Hansen, number 25, the starter for the Lehi Pioneers, who throws outside ball 1. To Carson Moody. Next pitch to him is right on the inner half for a strike.
Roughly the same start that Zach Edwards had. Goes 1-1 in the count. And most of them are really fast pitches on the inside zone.
That one is a changeup low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Good job by Carson Moody backing off. The center fielder who's come up trumps time and again for Jay Applegate this season. That one gets past the glove into the backstop. 3 balls and a strike now. The count on the center fielder, Carson Moody, who closed out the win over American Fork despite having leg cramps for the last 2 pitches. This one is popped up high in the air to the left side. Madsen says he's got it, drifts over to his left, makes the catch, and there's one gone.
Now hitting number 21.
Here in the bottom of the first. And here comes the Utah Tech commit, Caden Allred.
Caden already showing up big so far. He had that one amazing play behind the plate. And now you give him a bat right at the plate. Let's see what he can do.
First pitch on the way is inside and high. 1 ball, no strikes. A little chin music. Zach Edwards, the Oregon State commit, and the pitcher's next to bat. On the 1-0 pitch coming from Hansen. This one is rocketed back up the middle, and that's a base hit. Aggressive turn at first by Caden Allred. He will track back to the bag with a 1-out single. And the Silverwolves have their first base runner of the evening.
And that's the guy you want to do it from, too, is Caden Allred.
And here comes Zach Edwards, the Oregon State commit, as Jay Applegate lays down the signal on the third base side. These Riverton Silverwolves have been here before. They are no strangers to being behind in games. First pitch on the way is below the knees. Had to snatch it back up a couple of inches, and that's ball 1.
Edwards, as I mentioned, batting average of .427 on the year. He's got 3 homers, which can allude to his 24 RBIs on the year as well.
That pitch is right there at the letters. Good pitch there from Braden Hansen. We expected to see Cooper Hansen as the starter tonight, but I guess Jay Applegate figuring he's going to save him in case they get to American Fork tomorrow night. That one was below the knees, snatched back up, but this time gets the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the count on Zach Edwards.
Again, the Oregon State commit as of October 23rd.
Runner goes. Throw down to second. High throw, and they are not going to get him. And that's a stolen base on ball 2 as Manukin could not keep the throw down, and Madsen had a tough time flagging it down. And there's a runner in scoring position now for the Silverwolves with 1 out. Edwards takes that one high, and it's 3-2. So a lot of deep counts here early on for both of these pitchers. As again, we've seen all night long, all day long here from all these teams. Here's the 3-2 pitch. High fly ball. Watch out. Coming over into our section over here, lands in the stands. Once again, remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count on Zach Edwards with a runner in scoring position. Can Riverton answer back? The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Hot corner. Good pick at third. Throw to first. Got him. The runner will not advance. Great job by Cooper Williams flagging that down. And just like that, there are 2 gone.
Did you hear the sound coming off of that bat? That's an exit velo of close to 97 coming right off that bat, and great scoop. Like, absolutely incredible by Cooper Williams in order to get that and flag it down. Not to mention the bullet of a throw.
And meanwhile, we're going to have a switch out as we're going to have a pinch runner now for the Riverton Silverwolves. Rocky Downs is going to take Caden Allred's place at short. Or at the second base, rather. As Jay Applegate trying to make sure he has his chips in order. Great play on the hot corner there from Cooper Williams. The 5-3 put out to get the second out.
Well, you know what Riverton's doing is they're putting this fast guy to try to tie the game here in the bottom of the first.
A swing and a miss right there from Drake Pearsall. Strike 1.
They put their trust into the 4-batter, Drake Pearsall, to try to get this tying run across here in the bottom.
That one is about a 48-foot curveball that bounces up to the plate off the carpet. And it's a ball and a strike now.
And I guess how do you not trust this guy, Alex? 4 home runs on the year, leads the team. 8 doubles on the year, also leads the team.
1-1 pitch, high and away, 2 balls and a strike. And based on those numbers, you would think, Ty, they are not going to give him anything close to the zone to hit here.
I wouldn't guess. He also leads the team in RBIs with 28. Looking for his 29th here as he's ahead in the count.
2-1 pitch. Catches the high corner, strike 2. Great pitch there from Hansen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a runner on second base as the Riverton Silverwolves trying to answer back. Already a base hit here in the inning. 2-2 pitch. That gets by to the backstop. And Downs is going to get to third base unmolested. And it makes it a full count now with 2 out. And this is Danger Will Robinson here for the Lehi Pioneers. Score that as a wild pitch on Hansen. The full count offering. High pop-up. Good luck trying to get this one. Madsen says he's got it. He does. And the inning is over. Riverton gets 1 base hit, but they strand the runner at third. We're going to be here a while, folks. It's 1-0 Lehi as we head to the top of inning number 2. Beautiful shot of the nearly full moon here from Larry H. Miller Field on what is becoming quickly a very cold night here across the state of Utah. The wind has really picked up over the last 20 minutes or so, now reading 26 miles per hour. Coming from the home plate side to the outfield. It's 1-0 in favor of the Lehi Pioneers as we begin the top half of the second inning. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson for our final game of the first round of the 6A baseball playoffs. Winner moves on to face American Fork. Loser must play an elimination game tomorrow afternoon against the Syracuse Titans. And then they must survive another elimination game to get to the semifinals. As catcher Caden Allred looks like he's having trouble connecting up his PitchCom earpiece into his ear. Now it's in. As Cooper Williams will lead off the top of inning number 2. First pitch from Zach Edwards is down low, ball, no strikes. Both teams able to get traffic against the opposing pitchers early on, though, as that pitch is fouled right back to the screen, almost in our direction. One the count. And the pitch from Edwards is hit in the air to center. Moody moves over to the top of the Y logo, makes the catch. And just like that on 2 pitches, there's 1 out.
At the plate number 14, Dawson Brown.
So that will bring up Dawson Brown, the right fielder, 7-man in the order. And then next will be Tanner Heaps, number 8 in the order. Shift is on to the right side of the infield. First pitch on the way is low and in the dirt, as the catcher Allred had to pick that one up off the carpet for ball 1. 1-0 pitch is hit in the air, foul to the right. And that is going to get into the Helaman Halls parking lot. Top of the second inning, 1 out. 1-0 in favor of Lehi. Here's the 1-1. That is right down Broadway for strike 2. The 1-2 pitch. Goodbye. Second strikeout for Zach Edwards. And there's quickly 2 gone here in the top half of inning number 2.
At the plate, number 11, Tanner Heaps.
I think he's getting the matchup that he wants, too. He's figured out the righty batters a little bit. Remember when I kept saying that he kept pitching low and in the zone, kind of down in the dirt, and if it was a lefty, he would pitch high and away, up toward the waist.
First pitch on the way to the 8-man of the order, Tanner Heaps, is a strike right at the thighs.
And you can tell he's got his pitch dialed in now. I think it was just that first inning nerve that he needed to get past.
This one is ripped foul. Look out. That one almost took somebody's teeth with it down the first base line. We've seen a couple of those today that have just been heat-seeking missiles into the dugouts. Here's the 0-2. Just a little bit high right there. Trying to get on the chase. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Edwards is going fast here in his windup. He's got his rhythm.
1-2. Fly ball, right field. Hicks got it. And that's the end of the inning. We are under the lights in prime time here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Tim up alongside Ty Wilkinson. The final game of day 1 of the 6A baseball playoffs. Our coverage presented by Heidemann & Associates and also presented by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered for all seasons of the year. Use the promo code REWIND on your next order to get 20% off whenever you order from Igloo Outfitters.
Leading off the Silverwolves, number 25.
So in steps the powerful Alex Vernon, one of the best first basemen in the state. Trying to take his cuts here to begin the bottom half of the second inning for the Riverton Silverwolves. And the first pitch to him is hit foul. Is that going to hit the roof?
Yes,
it does. And so for the first time since game 2, we have a chance to bring up our Any Hour Services random roof ringers. Just random factoids about the game of baseball. As the 0-1 pitch comes down here from Hansen. And that is on the corner for strike 2. We'll get to that after this AB.
Alex, you know what's crazy is Alex Vernon, you mentioned one of the best in Utah. He's still uncommitted as a senior to play baseball theoretically anywhere as he fouls one off.
Yeah, fouls one off right behind us into the stands out to the right field side.
But I mean, just an all-around amazing ball player. Exit velo is hitting 88. His swing goes from his torso, hips, arms to his bat.
0-2 pitch, just missed. Boy, how disciplined you have to be to lay off that sucker. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count on Alex Vernon.
Doesn't even feel like he has 2 strikes. That's just how powerful he is.
1-2 pitch is hit high in the air to right. Coming in as the right fielder, Dawson Brown. A couple of steps, makes the catch. And just like that, there's 1 retired here in the bottom half of the second inning. Okay, Ty, Any Hour roof ringer, what is it?
All right, so it's been since game 1. I don't know if you remember, but we talked about the shortest game in MLB history. Why don't you guess what the longest baseball game that has ever been recorded was?
The longest game?
The longest game.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to think about that one. As the first pitch comes to Dylan Zulo, and he rockets this one in the left center field. That could be trouble. That ball's going to get down to the gap. That ball's going to be at least 2. Zulo coasts into second base with a 1-out double. And the Riverton Silverwolves have their first extra base hit of the ball game, and it comes from the SLCC commit, Dylan Zulo.
The man with the mustache. Holy cow. That was corked off the bat. Even I thought that was almost getting pretty close to the warning track there, Alex.
Yeah, it landed just outside of Glenn Tuckett's picture on the left side of the alley, which, by the way, folks, is a pretty deep alley. I mean, this is a college ballpark we're in. I mean, straightaway centers to 402. The alleys are 380 and 388.
You're getting to around 390 where he just hit.
First pitch is lifted in the air to right. Dropping fast. Brown will make the catch. Zulo will trot back in to his position. There are 2 out. And now up steps the DH, Dallin Ellison, to try to keep it going. So you told me earlier what the longest baseball game was. I'm going to guess it was probably around 6 hours.
It's actually more.
You're kidding.
It was 8 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh, you got to be joking.
The Rochester Red Wings and the Pawtucket Red Sox. And in total, 33 innings.
That had to have been some 1940 scoreline, as that pitch to Dallin Ellison's right at the letters for a strike.
You're close. That's 1960.
What is it with these old-timey baseball things in long games? I mean, like, I guess everybody had nowhere else to go back in the day.
Well, welcome to the pitch clock era.
Thank goodness we are in it as that pitch bounces up to the plate. 1-1 strike. Of course, the Braves were the last World Series champion before the pitch clock era.
Right.
And then the Astros won last year was the Texas Rangers. So 2 Texas teams, would you believe it, are the 2 first champions of the pitch clock era. 0-1 pitch is down on the dirt, 2-1.
Little interesting thing about Dallin, he sustained a wrist injury in the All-American Bowl in Texas when he was playing football. He's been hitting in the DH spot. He's only played 6 games for Riverton. He's been working on his throwing and his pitching. And in the past 2 games that he's played in the playoffs, he's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs in each game.
That one, it just misses the bottom corner. 3 balls and a strike.
But you talk about a powerful big boy down there, Alex.
I mean, there is power up and down both these lineups here tonight. We have yet to see it, but Dylan Zulo was just a spark of it. The 3-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Going to be a tough play. Picked up on the hop at second. Throw to first in time. And that retires the side. So the Riverton Silverwolves once again get a runner in scoring position but are unable to score after 1 base hit. 2 full innings complete. It remains 1-0 in favor of the Lehi Pioneers. Welcome to the top of the 3rd inning here. What's been zooming along here this evening. Lehi leading Riverton 1-0 as you take a look out at the flag in right center field. Gavin Yates, number 9 in the order coming up. 9-1-2 for the Lehi Pioneers with Yates, Williams, and Madsen. Zach Edwards, first pitch on the way, is fouled right back to the screen. Good contact, though.
It's an unusual amount of wind that we're getting here in the late evening.
Yeah, and it's really swirling around, too, as that pitch is on the corner for strike 2. It is swirling around pretty good. Coming in from our left field side. Now it's coming in from the left field side, going all the way around to the right field side as this is chop foul to the backstop. (9-1-2) in the order here to begin the top half of the 3rd for the Lehi Pioneers. 0-2 pitch from Edwards. Ground ball to the right side. This is going to be a tough play. In the hole. Shortstop's going to make the throw, but it's going to be well late. And the Lehi Pioneers have a runner on the infield single by Gavin Yates. It was a good throw, though, and a good effort from the shortstop, McCade Ortiz, playing in the hole. And that brings up the top of the order in Ozzie Williams.
Well, the shift was on over there, Alex. You had Drake Pearsall and Ortiz kind of just come in the same side. And by the time Ortiz already got to the ball, Yates had about a 3/4 of the way journey all the way to the first base path. He gets a single on an infield hit.
First pitch on the way. Williams showed bunt but pulled it back. 1 ball, no strikes to count.
And that's promising, too, from the bottom of your lineup from Gavin Yates to get an early single to bring up the 1-2-3 coming up next.
Quick throw back over to first. Back in safely is Yates. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out. Runner on first here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Quick throw back to first. That's close. Edwards almost got him. Such quick movement for a guy his size, too. 6'4", 230, Zach Edwards. That pitch misses the outside corner, 2-0.
Well, there's a good reason Oregon State wants him, and that's the versatility that he has. I mean, the flexibility. You talk about a guy that can turn on a dime, especially when he's on the mound.
Just like that, almost got him again, but this time Vernon dropped the throw before he got the tag down.
You can't put into words unless you see it in person how quick that transition is to throw over to first.
Here's the 2-0 pitch coming. That one is high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes now to Ozzie Williams. Williams drew the leadoff walk and then was caught stealing. Then Mays Matson drew a walk and later came around to score on an RBI double. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, strike one. Matson stands on deck. 3-1 pitch, hit towards the shortstop. 6-4. Not going to get 3 as Williams beats out the throw, but they do get the force out on the fielder's choice score at 6-4. And there's one gone here in the top half of the third inning, as that'll bring up the speedy Mays Matson, the shortstop.
Speedy Mays, there's a good name for him.
I'm not the one that said it, you did.
Tribute to the late Willie Mays.
Yeah, the Say Hey kid of old back in the 50s and 60s, as Allred comes out to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher. A brief one.
And if you think team chemistry between those two doesn't play a factor, you're dead wrong.
It certainly does. That's an understatement, to say the least. 1-0 pitch from Edwards. This one is hit in the air well. Traveling toward deep right center field. That's going to be trouble. That's going to bounce up against the fence. The runner will score. Matson will turn for second on his way to third. And he will get there with an RBI triple. Mays Matson trumps again. He had the home run and the run rule win on Game 2 on Friday, and he comes up with a walk, an RBI, and now an RBI triple. And it's 2-0 Lehi. As Ed's first pitch comes down low, and I have to tell you, Ty, I did not expect this. I don't think anybody could have foreseen this.
It's an early go on Edwards.
This one is fouled right back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I feel like Lehi right now is just figuring out, I guess, the pitches that Edwards throws. Because he throws... Looks like we have a little...
You have a loose ball, so that has to be put back in the pocket of the man on deck, Cole Ybarra, the DH.
Well, going back, it feels like they're just trying to figure out Edwards' pitch. Because they notice he throws very plenty off-speed pitches, but it feels like more often than not, he's giving you a fastball pretty much inside. And for a hitter, that's everything you want with that 90-plus pitch coming straight at you, and you add your exit velo to that, you're probably destined for right there.
That one is hit well in his center field. That ball's going to get up against the fence. Moody picks it up on 2 hops off the fence. Another triple. Another run. It's 3-0 Lehi.
Now hitting number 5, Cole Ibarra.
Back-to-back RBI triples. And the Lehi Pioneers are up 3-0. Edwards misses low. 1 ball, no strikes.
And remember what I said, Alex. It all started with that Gavin Yates single. When you're in the bottom of the lineup, getting that single is huge. Because then that brings up your top line, and boy, do they rake.
That was absolutely smoked off the barrel of Boston Drakulich, the left fielder. Back-to-back RBI triples, and the Riverton Silverwolves are stumbling here. I mean, they've taken... I mean, this is more than a sucker punch right now. This is a gut punch they've taken.
I don't think I've seen any other team have as far of shots as Lehi has had in those back-to-back sequences from their second and third guys in the lineup, Mays Matson, and then Boston Drakulich.
Jay Applegate going to send out McKay Linford and Kenneth Price to the bullpen. as the Riverton Silverwolves wobbling here in the top of the third inning. Not at all what we expected. This one is ripped over the right field stands, foul.
Lehi is just getting leather to barrel. It feels like, even if it's in a foul perspective, but they have figured out Zach Edwards' pitches.
That one is right there at the knee, strike two. Zach Edwards could really use a strikeout after the back-to-back RBI triples by Madsen and Drakulich. Can he get one? No! This one is in the center, and that's a base hit. That will score another run. It's 4-0 Lehi.
Now hitting with 15, Brandon Manukin.
And Brandon Manukin will now step in.
Remember what I said about figuring out Zach Edwards' pitches?
I mean, this is more than figuring out. It's like they're reading on him every single time, as this is down low for ball one. And you're right, Ty. I have not seen a team hit the Riverton Silverwolves this well all season long, especially this early in the game.
And especially from a guy like Zach Edwards, who's maintained a rather low ERA during the course of the season and the opponents that they've played.
This one is fouled out of play to the right. I mean, don't adjust the set, folks. I mean, this is really your score. I mean, it's 4-0 in the third inning, but it feels like it's a lot more right now. I mean, this is not at all what we expected, as Edwards misses that one outside, 2 balls and a strike now. Edwards comes set, runner at first, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That is a beauty right in there for strike 2.
Off speed down in the corner. Just one of his many dangerous pitches is in his itinerary. Let's see if he can figure out how to get out of this inning.
Foul right back to the screen. We'll do it again. Manukin, the catcher, stands in. 2-2 pitch coming from Edwards. Hit in the air. That's another base hit into the gap. Runner turns for third. They will stop the runner there on the cutoff. It's a double for Manukin, and it just keeps going.
A triple from Mays Madsen, a triple from Boston, a single from Cole, and now a double from Brandon. And they got runners at third and second with 1 out. And I think the double play, Alex, is arguably out of question right now for the Riverton Silverwolves.
I'm just shell-shocked. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. I mean, honestly, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. This one is ripped into right field. Is that going to be fair? It is. Drops in with the line. 1 run scores. Here comes the second. They're going to wait the runner to third. The third triple of the inning. Would you believe it?
When you think it's over, it's really not. And I think Coach right now I think he's done.
I mean, this is unheard of. And Jay Applegate is walking out, and you'd have to think that's it for Zach Edwards. And it is, mercifully.
2 guys right now working in the bullpen.
They're going to bring out the lefty. Edwards will now replace McCade Ortiz at short. Wow. 6-0 Lehi. McKay Linford is in, and all Riverton really has to do right now is put a tourniquet on this landslide that they have been under. 5 runs have already scored this inning on 5 base hits, or on 6 base hits. And Ty, we keep harping on it. In the last 4 batters, triple, triple, double, single, double, triple.
Yep, all started out with Gavin Yates getting the single. Ozzie Williams, he got the ground out. That's the one out you see on the scoreboard. Mays Madsen gets a triple. Boston gets a triple, hits in Mays Madsen. Cole Ybarra, he gets a single, and that knocks in Boston, so that's 2 RBIs for him. And then Brandon McCucken, he gets a double. That scores. And then a triple from Cooper Williams. And so right now he's at the corner in scoring position. And you see that 5 spot. And Lehi right now is 2 batters away from going full circle in the lineup just in this inning alone against Edwards.
I mean, this is against one of the best pitching staffs in the state. And this one is lined and caught by Allred. Throw back to third. And finally, the Riverton Silverwolves get the second out.
Now hitting number 11.
I mean, I'm not kidding you, Ty. We went almost 20 minutes between outs with what just happened.
Sure feels like it.
I mean, what more can you say about what's happened in this inning? This is truly unreal. This is truly unreal.
Lehi came to play.
I mean, we are seeing something that is almost biblical right now in proportion. That changeup is in there. Doesn't matter. It was a strike anyway. Zach Edwards went 2 1/3. He allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. That's unheard of for a player that has been so good for so long for Jay Applegate. And all of it really came within the last 6 batters.
It's just unbelievable.
It really is. So McKay Linford now just trying to put a stop to this madness. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Allred throws to first in time. And it's finally over. But not before the Lehi Pioneers explode for 5 runs on 6 hits in 7 batters. They go all the way around the order, and the Riverton Silverwolves are in deep trouble as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. They trail 6-0.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Well, folks, there you go. I mean, believe it or not, this is your score. 5 runs on 6 hits in 7 batters for the Lehi Pioneers. Kicked off with an infield single by Gavin Yates. And then, in order, ground out, RBI triple, double, single, and another 2-run triple. And finally, when it was all said and done, the Lehi Pioneers are up 6-0.
By the way, Alex, they did bat around.
And yes, and they did bat around. I did point that out before we went to commercial. We went almost 20 minutes between outs, Ty. That's unbelievable. First pitch from Braden Hansen, who has a pretty cushy lead now here at 6-0. Throws a strike right into the thighs of Easton Hicks. A 1 pitch, and that one is left high and inside, and Hicks didn't like that. Had a glare back at the mound as he did so. That's something you don't see from him very often. And he cuts on and misses at that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes.
You think Hansen's comfortable? He's got quite the cushion to work with.
Can you tell? Caught him staring at a strike, and just like that, there's 1 gone.
It's a lot of changeup, too. That was nasty.
Well, Ty, I didn't think we would get to say this, but if you're Riverton, you got to take this one at bat at a time. You cannot afford to get it all back in one.
Fortunately for Riverton, though, they get the last at bat. You clinch the 4 seed. You're playing the 5, and as the 4 seed, when you're down 6-0, I think it's a blessing in disguise that you're going to be getting the bottom of the 7th to, get an opportunity.
Moody fouls this one back to the screen. 2 strikes now, the count.
At this point, you can only pray that Hansen gets up there in pitch count, or at least does something similar to what Zach Edwards had to give up in the 3rd inning.
0-2 pitch. He struck him out, or did he? No, he foul tipped it. Sorry, folks. It's been a long day for all of us. We can't tell sometimes. But you're right. Ty. It's going to have to be one batter at a time now for the Riverton Silverwolves, and they won't have any hope of getting back in this one. That one is a strike on the inner half. And there are quickly 2 gone.
Playing for 21, King Allred.
I'd like to remind you, he did that against Carson Moody, the top of the lineup. Back-to-back Ks. And Lehi is just running away with this one so far. I can't believe my eyes right now, Alex. This is incredible.
It defies all reason right now to what we're seeing.
And it doesn't help that Hansen is pitching super, super well off-speed pitches.
A 1 pitch bounces up to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. One the count. Here's the pitch. Right at the knees, strike 2. And Hansen is a pitch away from striking out the side.
That was a 4-seam.
And I bet you he goes high and away outside to the right. The 1-2 pitch.
Goodbye.
No!
Whoa.
Just a little bit high
That
right
was
there. That was close.
Woo!
It just missed a little bit high.
That was high heat right there, Alex. I thought that was a strike.
This one is. Braden Hansen strikes out the side in order in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Lehi Pioneers feeling it. Headed to the top of the 4th. They lead 6-0. Anything can happen in 6A, but I don't think anyone in the right mindset coming into Miller Park would have expected this tonight, as the Riverton Silverwolves have a mountain to climb here at the top of the 4th inning. They trail the Lehi Pioneers 6-0 as the Pioneers try to make it 2 for 2 in Region 3 players, or Region 3 teams, to get to the 2nd round. And McKay Linford will come out to begin proceedings here in the top half of the 4th.
I don't know if you saw Riverton coming out of this break, Alex, but the energy, it feels like, is not there for either of them. You saw lots of slow trots, heads down. And you're watching them take fielding practice right now. They just feel like super loose and super lenient. There's an errant throw to first right on the other side.
I mean, you think at this point, like I said, this Riverton team just needs something, anything.
A spark, more than anything.
I mean, this is quite extraordinary what we're seeing right now. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and Riverton, no runs, just 2 hits. They were set down in order, struck out in the bottom of the 3rd. As we begin the top half of the fourth inning. Gavin Yates led off the bottom of the top of the third. He will once again lead off the top of the fourth for the Lehi Pioneers. Linford's first pitch is off the carpet, ball one.
And I'd like to point out, too, Alex, it wasn't until Gavin Yates, which was his first at-bat in the third inning, that spark flew. And now here he is, from what he pioneered, no pun intended, Lehi Pioneers, if you see what I did there. Pioneered all the way back in the third inning to take it now to the fourth. And what a pioneer it was.
I mean, you would have thought that infield single would have been as innocent as ever, but this has just turned into something out of a movie, a Hollywood script right now. 2-1 pitch. That's swung on and missed. Strike two.
Alex, I don't think we've seen a starter be taken out in the third inning in these 4 games that we've had.
This one is lofted into right. That's another base hit. Another leadoff hit.
Now, if that doesn't tell a story that the bottom of your lineup is 2 for 2 on the night so far. And here comes
the top of the order again.
With no outs, just like last time.
It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, though, so favorable for Linford, you would think. And the Riverton Silverwolves, who need just something, anything, to get going their way. That one is inside on the hands. 1 ball, no strikes. One ball pitch is outside, low, 2 balls and no strikes. It is just past 9:15 p.m. here, local time here in Provo. The lights have taken full effect. As Linford's 2-0 pitch is hit on the ground to second. They'll go the short way to first. And the throw is dropped! Alex Vernon had it in his hands, but he couldn't hang on. It popped straight out of his glove.
And if you're Riverton, that's the momentum that you would have needed. Now that doesn't help out Linford in the slightest, because now he's working with no outs, runner on first and second.
And now he's working with a guy in Mays Matson who had an RBI triple and another who had an RBI triple just last inning.
We'll talk about a favorable matchup, too, for Mays Matson, a lefty on lefty.
He walked, he scored, and then he had an RBI triple in the third. All told, he's taken 5 bases. This one is a bunt drop down in front of the mound. Going to be a tough play. Throw to third. They're not going to get him. And the bases are loaded.
Now play number 9, Boston Draculich.
So let's keep track so far. A single,
a
single on an air, and a bunt.
And a bunt fielder's choice.
To give it bases loaded for Lehi Pioneers. And no outs.
Here's the pitch. This one is down and in to Boston Draculich, who also had an RBI triple in the third inning. 1-0 pitch coming from Linford. This one bounces right up to the plate, but a good block by the catcher, Caden Allred.
Caden Allred doing everything in his power to try to not get Gavin Yates across for another run, which would inevitably make it 7-0 in the 4th inning.
And the 4th inning, no less. I mean, this is just simply unbelievable what we're watching.
It's historic is what it is.
This one is hit foul off to the right and over the stands. And into the Helaman Halls parking lot.
You wonder what goes through the mind of Linford I mean, you kind of expected Edwards to go at least
4 or 5.
Yep. Took the words right out of my mouth.
This one is chopped up the middle. Step on this bag for first. They'll get the runner at second. In the back door to score comes Madsen on the GIDP. But it leaves a runner at third.
Now hitting number 5, Cole Ibarra.
And that run does come across to score, and it's now 7-0 in favor of Lehi.
And they're not done yet. You still have a runner at third.
And you're right. Well, you're right. I mean, the scoring is definitely not done. Maybe in this inning. Unfortunately for Riverton. Linford's first pitch is down low in the dirt. Well, Kanab was down 9-1 to South Sevier in the 2A championship game on Saturday, and they came back to win that one. But I have to say, this is a whole different animal that Riverton is facing now, down 7-0 in just the fourth inning.
Not to mention 3 straight strikeouts coming off of said 5-run scoring from
and Braden Hansen, like you said, setting down the side in order in the third. All via the strikeout. That one is down low in the carpet as well, 2-1. The wind has calmed down somewhat. The flag is not moving as much as it was earlier. But it is still coming from our back. As that one is a changeup cut on and missed for strike 2. Temperature now 52 degrees. North-northwest wind is at 25 miles per hour at the Provo Airport. So definitely it's windier away from here. 2-2 pitch. Got him. And McKay Linford gets a huge strikeout to limit the damage for now. But the Pioneers scratch another one across the board, and they are rolling. Riverton needs to get something going quick. They're down 7-0 here in this final game of Day 1. Rewind Sports Network's coverage of UHSAA baseball will continue tomorrow with another full day of 5A and 6A action. Catch us starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning from UVU with Michael Goodkind and Garrett Bauer on the call, and me and Ty here in the booth at Miller Field starting at 11 a.m. All games for the UHSAA playoffs are on your home for the spring championships. KSL Sports Rewind. Alexander Timolip, Ty Wilkinson here in the booth at Larry H. Miller Field. And Ty, it is very hard to believe what we are watching right now.
I'm wondering if it's real at this point. I feel like I'm actually living in a dream that this is even happening, that Riverton is down 7-0 to the Lehi Pioneers.
And this is, by the way, the biggest deficit Riverton has faced all season long. They have not faced a run deficit of more than 7 or 7 or greater all year long.
And it comes in the most crucial point of the season.
Right. That's what makes it even more unreal right now as Hansen throws 2 outside here, 2 balls and no strikes. And you have to look for some kind of a spark here if you're Riverton. Get some traffic against Braden Hansen, who's been rolling. This one is hit into center field, and that will be a base hit. And you talk about a much-needed base hit for the Riverton Silverwolves. There it is. And it's Zach Edwards, the Oregon State commit, who does the job.
Now hitting number 9, Drake Pearsall.
I think he needs to get his mind off of his pitching performance back in the 3rd inning. And that's a way to start.
Here comes Drake Pearsall now to the plate. He who scored the 2-run double in the opener against American Fork so long ago.
Keep an eye on first base for the steal, by the way.
Well,
Zach Edwards, he leads his team, and it's by far, too. No one else even comes close to double digits in steals on this roster.
I was about to say, Ty, it's 7-0. What do you got to lose? I am sure Jay Applegate and his coaching staff will be sending runners to second at any opportunity they get. Not there, though, as Pearsall gets plunked. So, Riverton has some traffic, 2 runners on, and there's still nobody out. As Alex Vernon, the first baseman who flew out his first time, now comes to the plate. And if there's anyone who can deliver a big blow, it's number 25. He nearly had a home run against American Fork as head coach Eric Madsen's going to pop on out of the dugout. And this is going to be a mound visit. There's nobody up in the bullpen currently for the Pioneers. Getting back to what I was saying about Vernon. Vernon had a 2-run home run against Cypress back in March. And Vernon also had a huge double that nearly cleared the center field fence at Rags Field up in American Fork Tie. And we talked about how the Riverton Silverwolves need a spark right now. They've got the right guy at the plate.
This is the guy I feel like you need to at least adapt or die at this point. This is a favorable matchup. You're facing Hansen. You've already seen him once. He had a deep fly out. Let's see, that was in the second inning. Towards the bottom of the second, he had that deep fly out to right field. So if he catches the right pitch that he's looking for, this could easily be a 4-run game just in the snap of a finger.
Here it comes from Hansen. And he was going for it, but he swung and missed. 1 strike the count here on Alex Vernon as Jay Applegate watches nervously from his third base coaching box.
That wasn't the best swing either. It was low and outside.
0-1 pitch on the way. Did he go? Ball was in the dirt. No check swing, so it is 1 ball and 1 strike as Madsen comes in now.
He almost chose to go again on pretty much the same pitch there, Alex.
This is the thing, though, with Riverton right now. You just need a spark. You don't really need a get it all back in one kind of swing, though it would be nice. You have the right guy up there on the mound in 25. Or in the batter's box, I should say, in 25. But Lehi also has the right guy on the mound, and he's also wearing 25 right now.
Right.
Which makes it all the more complicated.
Well, keep an eye who's coming up next. That's Dylan
Zulo, yes.
Zulo.
He who had the only other extra base hit in this ball game for the Silverwolves. Here comes the pitch. That one is right down Broadway for a strike. There is 1 man up in the bullpen right now for Lehi. On this 1-2 count for Alex Vernon. The pitch. Tipped off the catcher.
He'll stay alive.
And barely stays alive at that. Josh Dodge is telling me it's a lefty in the bullpen. He's behind the pole. Yes, it is. I can see it. Lefty up in the bullpen right now for head coach Eric Madsen in a 7-0 game. But a big moment here.
Both bullpens are active, too. Very interesting.
1-2 pitch coming to Vernon. High fly ball in the air to center. 3 gray shirts coming on and a good over-the-shoulder catch from Mays Madsen, and that's out number 2.
That was great communication out there.
And that will bring up Dylan Zulo now.
Amazing communication by Ozzie Williams and Mays Madsen out there. The first, second, and shortstop. You know, kind of just communicating out there in a place, well, you don't exactly get too many flyouts, personally. That's more so the center fielder's job, but all of these fielders are playing so deep just because Riverton is so much known for hitting the ball so far in the outfield, so they're trying to bridge the gap.
I correct myself, actually. There's only 1 out. So 2 runners on, 1 out here in the bottom half of the 4th. Riverton desperately needs something to get going their way. 0-1 pitch to Zulo, chopped to third. 5, 4, not going to get 3. As Zulo beats out the throw, and the throw pulled him off the bag as well, which means there are runners at the corners with 2 out.
At the plate, number 19, Cohen Allred.
So Cohen Allred, the second baseman, 7th in the order now, has an opportunity to finally dent the scoreboard for the Silverwolves, and following him will be Dowlin Ellison, the DH, and Hicks, the left fielder. Two outs. Here's the pitch. That is a beauty of a yacker right there for a strike. Dropped in right at the bottom of the strike zone. Zulo on first. Here's the pitch. Did he go? Yes. Strike 2.
This is Riverton's opportunity to capitalize. Runners at the corners. Unfortunately, you're down 0-2 in the count.
And already 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. 0-2 pitch on the way. High and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once again, the 1-2 coming. Runners go. And it's fouled to the left. One, two, the count. 2 outs. 2 runners on at the corners. The pitch. Fly ball, right field, foul. Tailing out of play. As that goes into the Helaman Halls parking lot. So we'll do it again. 6th pitch of the AB coming up here for Allred.
Respect where it's due. He's staying alive. He went down 0-2 in the count. He's brought it to 1-2, and he fouls off a masterpiece. Let's see if he can level out that swing and try to knock in a run.
Runner goes, and the runner will score. Zulo's going to turn for third. He's going to stop there at second. And the Riverton Silverwolves finally get one on the board.
Okay, so now if you're coming all red, you're thinking single. If you can get a gapper right through the infield line, he's got a big gap going oppo. Do you see that big gap right over there, Alex, between first and second?
That's where they've been hitting most of the afternoon, all these hitters. 2-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed. He dropped the 3rd strike. Throw down to first, gets the put out, and that retires the side. But the Riverton Silverwolves finally scratch across a run. Now they need to get some defense going. They're down 7-1 as we head to the top of the 5th. New pitcher on the mound to start the top of the 5th inning here for the Riverton Silverwolves. It's Kenneth Price, the right-hander. After Zach Edwards went 2 1/3 innings, and then McKay Linford went 1 2/3 innings more. And so Price's job will just be to hold this deficit right where it is, so his offense can scratch out some more runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
For the greater portion of this game, Alex, it's been the pitching that Lehi has just been managing to figure out more often than not. I mean, once again, we bring it back to Gavin Yates, the bottom 9 hitter. He's 2 for 2 with singles. And every time that it feels like he gets a single in his lineup, it sparks something. I don't know what it is for the starting lineup. And it makes the score what it is right now. And that's 7-1.
Price guns that one in there on the lees for a strike. Brandon Manukin, 1 for 2 today with a single. Was part of that 8-man rotation that batted nearly around in the top of the 3rd inning. And that pitch by Price wasn't even close. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You wonder at this point, Alex, if Jay Applegate kind of just wants to save arms for playing Syracuse tomorrow.
You would think that might be the case, but I hasten to remind you, Ty, we still have 3 more innings left to go offensively, and if Riverton can hold Lehi off the scoreboard in this inning, they get a couple of runs in the bottom of the 5th. It still is doable, as this is swung on and missed for strike 2. I mean, I keep bringing it up. Kanab was down 9-1 against South Sevier, and they looked dead in the water, but then they came roaring back.
This is the playoffs, and it is 6A. You know what we say, Alex. Anything can happen.
That one just misses the bottom corner there from Kenneth Price, who, kind of watching him, he kind of has that Tommy Hansen-ish kind of delivery, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The kind of the swing back and the drop arm and then brings it back. Watch it right here.
It's very loose.
Yeah, he almost does that little swing out as that one is lifted into right and another base hit. This one placed perfectly over the head of Cohen Allred, the second baseman, and that is 10 hits through 4+ innings for the Lehigh Pioneers. As a pinch runner goes out for Lehigh, it's Cade Bailey, number 1. I mean, I can't even recall the last time Riverton even gave up 5 hits to an opponent.
Definitely not in the regular season, I'll say that.
They definitely did not in the regular season. First pitch coming from Kenneth Price, brings it down, and that is a gun right into the heart of the plate for a strike.
Beautiful four-seam.
I'm telling you, it reminds me almost of a Tommy Hansen. Mm-hmm. The way he brings it back and whips it forward with the fastball and has a lot of velocity on it. 0-1 pitch. That one is grounded to the right side and through. They'll put the stop sign on the runners at second base. And just like that, there are runners at first and second. And there are still no outs.
Haven't we heard this storyline already? First and second, no outs?
Yeah. It seems like we've heard it every single inning. As Cooper Williams now reaches with a single. So back-to-back singles to begin the top half of the 5th. And now here comes the 8th man in the order, Tanner Heaps. Or rather, that's Dawson Brown, number 14.
Well, he's got a strikeout and a lineout so far.
Yeah, the only one one of the only ones not to join the hit parade so far.
It's him and whoever is right behind him. That's Tanner Heaps. He's got a fly out and a ground out so far.
They're the only two that have not joined the hit parade so far. As Jay Applegate just trying to do anything really to stop the bleeding here at this point. In a 7-1 ball game that's threatening to become even more wide open as this is down low, ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike now, the count on Dawson Brown. One pitch. And that pitch was just a little bit outside. Ball 2.
Well, we talked about it too, Alex, at the beginning of the game, that Lehigh, they wait for their pitches to come to them. Like, they will wait as long as it takes on however many outside pitches to work the count, not in the pitcher's favor.
This one is smoked off the netting to the right side. Look out. If it wasn't for the protective netting down there, all the fans would have had to protect their dentures.
And see, you get a fastball right across the right side of the plate. I mean, it's pretty much game over. There's going to be contact no matter what. You hardly see any missed swings within this Lehigh offense so far. Hardly any misses. It's unbelievable to watch.
2-2 the count. Now here's the pitch with no outs and 2 runners on. That misses the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so the count goes full here on Brown.
I'm telling you, Alex, the batters, they'll work the pitchers for Riverton in their favor. They'll get him up here high in the count, and they'll just wait for their pitch. We'll see if he waits on a walk here or something.
3 balls and a strike now, the count. As we get the signal from the home plate umpire officially here. Kenneth Price comes set, and the 3-1. Ball 4. And the bags are full of Pioneers.
Now plate number 11, Tanner Heaps.
For Tanner Heaps, and here comes Jay Applegate. And I believe that's going to do it for Kenneth Price. And it is. He's making the call to the bullpen again. So we're going to have yet another pitching change. Kenneth Price lasts barely 3 batters. And the Riverton Silverwolves are on the ropes in what has become quite an astonishing final game of the Well, walk this way, McCade Ortiz. Bases loaded with nobody out. As Kenneth Price lasts just 4 batters.
Notice to your left of your screen, Jay Applegate is still out there talking to his infielders.
I mean, I think at this point, he's just trying to keep their heads up, which I think is a great move by him because...
That's what you do as a head coach.
I mean, he's been in this situation probably quite a few times in his career. This is his 29th year at the helm, or 25th year at the helm of Riverton. He's probably been in these situations a lot right now. And I think as a coach, Ty, you're just trying to keep your kids' heads up at this point. That's all you can really do.
You need to keep your composure. You need to know that it's not over. It's double elimination. You're going to get Syracuse. And I think you just have to shake this one off. And I mean,
unless something crazy like Canab South Sevier happens. It looks like that Riverton's going to be relegated to the loser's bracket. A thing I don't think really anybody could have anticipated after day one of bracket play here.
Directly. But you notice how Jay's sympatheticism, I should say, it's not so much a let's go, boys, come on, we got to get some more energy, we have to get out of this inning. It's more so guys, just keep your heads up. Let's get through this inning.
And show your pride. And show your pride. That I think has to be the most important message for Applegate right now. From Applegate right now is that Riverton, forget the score. They just have to show the pride, and they got to do their best to do it right here with how many arms they're burning through here out of their bullpen.
And no outs in the inning.
Ortiz's first pitch is right down the heart of the plate for a strike. As we say that, we have 2 more in the Riverton bullpen, a lefty and a righty. So it appears Jay Applegate is just trying to find any sort of momentum defensively or offensively and trying to keep his kids' heads up, which I think is the right call in a 7-1 game. And the Riverton Silverwolves, if this gets to an 11-1 game, if this gets to a 10-run game, that mercifully might come to an end as this is swung on and missed, strike 2. Well, we have had quite an unpredictable day of 6A baseball, and it's getting even more crazier with this result right here in the last game of the day. The 1-2 pitch from Ortiz. See ya. And that is a biggie for McCade Ortiz with the bags full of Pioneers. He gets the strikeout.
That's promising. The strikeout and the first out of the inning.
And that brings up the 9-man of the order, Gavin Yates, who led everything off in that big third inning with that infield single, and then came around to score on that RBI triple by Mays Madsen.
And he's 2 for 2, both singles.
The first pitch, this one is ripped down the line foul as he was well out in front of that one. I mean, I can't even remember the last time an opponent against Riverton had any kind of good contact consistently like this. I mean, the Lehi Pioneers are getting their bats on, their barrels on everything. And I mean everything. Just unbelievable to watch. 0-1 pitch on the way from Ortiz. That one is right down the heart of the plate for strike 2. Approaching 10 o'clock p.m. local time here in Provo. It's a 7-1 game here in the top of the 5th, but it feels like it's a 20-run game right now. 1-2 pitch, line to third, hot corner. Unassisted double play. And that ends the inning. Just like that. So the Lehi Pioneers don't score, and they leave the bases loaded. Now can Riverton get something going? They're running out of chances, down 7-1 in the final game of day 1. Approaching 10 o'clock p.m. local time here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson. As you get a look at the Riverton Silverwolves in the dugout batting order on deck right now. You see Dallin Ellison in the on-deck circle. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter, Gage Woods, coming up for Easton Hicks. as Jay Applegate once again trying to get something, anything going for his team. Here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Coming up at the conclusion of the game, Ty and I will recap today with our Heinemann Associates player of the game. We'll also recap day one and look forward to day two tomorrow. Another 4-game slate awaits us. What stood out to us from day one and what now comes up here on day two. First pitch is popped up sky high by Ellison. First baseman comes over, makes the catch, falls over on his wallet. And there's one out on one pitch. Good catch back there at the first base by Tanner Heaps. And now here comes Gage Woods, who will pinch hit for Easton Hicks. And I would assume Woods will go into the left field slot that was occupied by number 5.
At plate number 4, Gage Woods.
Carson Moody is set to lead off the top of the order next, as this pitch from Hansen is right there at the knees for a strike.
Well, Alex, there's 2 storylines in this game. I know the bats and the story of Lehi's offense has been a factor, but if you look on the scoreboard, 3 hits in 4 innings, about to be 5. We'll see what Riverton can do here, but 3 hits, and that's it. That's what Hansen's hand has dealt throughout the course of this game tonight against one of the arguably most loaded lineups in 6A baseball. 3 hits.
What more can you say? 0-2 pitch. Down low in the carpet, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I feel like every time Hansen has been ahead of the count, at least as far as I've noticed. He gets off-speed pitches early. He gets 1 breaking ball.
1-2 pitch in the carpet once again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There have not been very many times where Braden Hansen has been behind in the count this evening. That is for sure. 2-2 pitch. Got him! Caught you staring.
Off speed. It was a changeup.
And down goes the pinch hitter Woods on strikes, and here comes Carson Moody. As quickly 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th, and Braden Hansen is just rolling. That one is down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson Moody 0 for 2 today. 1-0 pitch on the way to him is hit in the air to deep right field. Coming over is the right fielder, gives way, makes the catch, and that is the end of it. The Silverwolves go down in order. Ikahi Elua Aloha in the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It remains 7-1 in favor of the Lehi Pioneers. It's pretty much all hands on deck for the Riverton Silverwolves. We got a lefty and a righty warming up in the bullpen for Jay Applegate. Rocky Downs, number 17, the lefty on the left of your screen. On the right side, Riley Taylor, the right-hander. Now, as the familiar tune of center field blares over the loudspeakers here at Larry H. Miller Field, Alexander Timble alongside my broadcast partner, Ty Wilkinson. Ty, you were just showing me the numbers. I mean, just give the viewers an idea of just how dominant, unexpectedly dominant this performance by the Pioneers has been tonight.
It's been incredible, Alex, to say the least. 11 hits, 7 runs. In the offensive perspective, not to mention that's 1, 2, 3 triples in 1 inning. Let's see.
And all in 4 batters.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have just been rolling. I guess third time's a charm or something. Because that's clearly the situation for Lehi. Wow.
Well, Ozzie Williams now in the batter's box to lead off the top half of the 6th inning in a 6-run game against McCade Ortiz. And the first pitch on the way is inside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. And take us through those batting averages, because I want the viewers to understand just how incredible this has been for Lehi defensively.
Cooper Williams.
As that one is outside ball 2. So take us through the batting averages for Riverton that Braden Hansen's been able to hold down here tonight.
Yeah, take a look at this. Dallin Ellison batting .333. Easton Hicks, 400. Dylan Zulo, .333. Stein Mozingo, he's .312. We haven't seen him tonight. Drake Pearsall, .338. Then we skip over. Zach Edwards, .427. Caden Allred, .450. Alex Vernon, .342. And then Carson Moody, .313. All are above 300. And some are even exceeding 400.
All are above 300 or 400, some of them. And
Alex, there's 4 guys in this lineup, and they played all 27 games so far this season.
I mean, just unbelievable as McCade Ortiz strikes out the first man he faces here in the top half of the 6th. And here comes Mays Matson now to the plate. Walked, scored, RBI triple, and then he singled. First pitch on the way to Matson is down low.
I mean, I wish the viewers could see the scorecard that I've just been writing out for Lehi compared to Riverton.
I mean, it's just unbelievable right now,
right,
what you're writing out. As that next pitch comes down, had to snatch it down a couple of inches. 2 balls and no strikes against Matson. .2-0 pitch. Just missed the corner there. 3 balls and no strikes now the count on Mays Matson.
I think the reason we're such in shock is because they managed to do this to Zach Edwards.
Yeah, and against a Riverton team that really has had its way with teams all season long, as Matson reaches for the 3rd time tonight, second time on a walk. And now here comes Boston Drakulich, the left fielder, and out comes Cohen Allred to the mound to have a chat with his pitcher. It is the top of the 6th inning with 1 out.
And another thing to point out, too, Alex, is no errors for Lehi. That's like the dream score that you dream of for a scoreboard. 7 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. It feels like you're just watching a different team right now.
First pitch on the way to Drakulich is down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
You didn't tell me the Atlanta Braves were coming to town, Alex. I would have prepared at least a little bit better.
If the Atlanta Braves had come to town, I think we would have been out of here by now.
Yep, very true.
.1-0 pitch coming as the check throw back to first, and in quickly is Matson. Matson already has a stolen base here tonight to add to his walk, his score, and his RBI triple earlier this evening. Next pitch is in there, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The energy is just completely sucked out.
I mean, you could feel it, too.
Riverton.
I mean, you could feel it, too. I mean, this place is just dead quiet. And not really in a tense-filled way. It's more in a...
Shock.
I think it's more in a shock-filled way for this Riverton fan base because they're not used to seeing this happen. Certainly not us that have come to used to seeing Jay Applegate's teams dominate like this in recent years. Here's the 1-1. Matson takes off. Throw down to second, and it is dropped. It was a good throw, but the shortstop could not hold on to it. And on a 2-1 count now, Matson has his 2nd stolen base of the evening.
Because why not, right?
Yeah, and knowing Eric Matson, he's not going to stop. Count is actually 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're getting the signal from the home plate umpire. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming to Ortiz. Or coming from Ortiz, rather. This one is in the carpet, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's now 10 o'clock p.m. local time here in Provo. It's been a long day for all of us. It started about 11 o'clock this morning with the first game under a rain-filled sky, and now we're starting here, or ending here under a moonlit sky with just shock all around the ballpark as this is down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes now the count on Boston Draculich.
Well, in 13 hours, we'll be calling our first game of the next series coming up. We got another 4-game set tomorrow.
Yes, we do. We have another 4 games coming up tomorrow in about just under 12 or 13 hours from now, so not a lot of time to recover for us.
Got to rest that voice.
3-2 pitch on the way. Bounces up to the plate. Allred timeout to block it. Draculich almost got in the way, but it doesn't matter. It's a walk.
Now hitting for 5, Cole Ibarra.
And here comes Cole Ibarra, the DH.
And at this point, it feels like, Alex, we've just gotten used to Lehi having a runner at first and second.
Yeah, traffic in every inning. I mean, I can't remember. I think maybe only the second inning was the only time they didn't have traffic against any of the pitching staff.
You're correct.
First pitch from Ortiz is in there for a strike over the inside part of the plate.
So it started this way, Alex. 2 back-to-back walks in the first inning, followed by an RBI by Cole. And then you're right, the second inning, you had a fly-out, a strikeout, and then another fly-out. Third inning was just mayhem. You got triple, single, double, triple, and then, line out, ground out, and then another single. Then fourth inning, you got a single, an error, base on ball, and then it kind of fell apart pretty much from there. And then in the fifth inning, single, walk. So bases are loaded again, back-to-back innings, strikeout, and then ground out. There's been traffic every inning except for the second. And that's the story of the game.
Kate Ortiz drops that one in there. Beautiful off-speed pitch for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the top half of the 6th inning as the Riverton Silverwolves just trying to apply a tourniquet to this bleeding. It has just seemingly not stopped since the 3rd inning. 1-2 pitch, line in the air, foul over the stands and right. And so we'll do it again.
I think the viewers at home can tell both of our voices. We're just in shock.
And aside from being tired. That's the other thing.
Also very true, yeah.
Ooh, good step off there from Ortiz. Had Madsen sprinting back to second.
Well, same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. Am I right?
Yeah, in the eternal words of Michael Wilbon, 13 more hours. We'll be right back here doing this again. 1-2 pitch coming. That's a line shot, base hit to left. Or to right, rather. Madsen sprinting. Madsen sliding and scoring. Another run's on the board. It is 8-1 Lehi.
Have yourself a day, Mays Madsen.
Mays Madsen has scored twice when he's walked. He's scored 3 times now total in the game, and he has an RBI triple. All told, he has taken 8 bases.
I thought you were going to say matters into his own hands because he's done that too.
And he's taken 8 bases today. 8. Manukin now lines this one into center. Should be plenty deep to score the run. Moody will get there, tagging at third and coming in to score on the sacrifice fly is Boston Draculich. It is 9-1 Lehi.
Now hitting number 3, Cooper Williams.
And here comes Cooper Williams.
I almost wanted to say it's only 9-1. Does not feel like it.
No, it certainly does not. Nine runs on 12 hits for Lehi. This one is grounded toward the hole at the hot corner. Picked up on a hop throw over to first in time. And that ends the inning. 2 more runs scored in the inning for the Lehi Pioneers. It's all Pioneers here tonight. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 9-1 Lehi. Welcome back, everyone, to the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs presented by Heidemann and Associates. There's the score. 9 runs on 12 hits for the Lehi Pioneers, and they've held the Riverton Silverwolves, one of the best hitting teams and all around one of the best teams in the state, to just 3 hits and 1 run. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson is sitting here in the booth at Larry H. Miller Field. I mean, Ty, we have seen it all today. I mean, we saw Corner Canyon upsetting Davis. We saw Mountain Ridge get taken out by a really good Fremont team. We saw a dominant pitching performance by AF against Syracuse in a pitcher's duel. But this is one of the best teams in the state, Riverton, and Lehi is just being absolutely ruthless right now.
Well, Alex, you know what's funny? The song playing right now it's actually one of the very few Taylor Swift songs I know, just because I thought the title was funny. It's called Cruel Summer. And right now, Riverton is living in the quote-unquote cruel summer. I just cannot believe what's been going on tonight. I guess that's the one time I'll ever use a Taylor Swift song lyric on air.
Good, and it better be the only time you ever use it. As
sorry,
that pitch
Mom.
is outside, 1 ball, no strikes. That better be the only time I hear a song reference like that all week long in front of you. 1-0 pitch. Grounded toward the hole. Good stretch over third. Throw to first in time.
Beautiful. Poetry in motion.
Cooper Williams with a couple of gems over at the hot corner. That's his second 5-3 putout he's had tonight. That has been an absolute beauty to watch. And if that doesn't tell you the story of the game, everything's coming up purple tulips right now for the Lehi Pioneers, as this pitch bounces up to the carpet for ball 1.
I mean, defense, offense, pitching, base running, fielding. Anything else you want to check off Lehi's resume today?
I mean, we all were saying that it could be American Fork and everybody else. I mean,
Lehi's in contention, dude.
Lehi might be ready to bust up the brackets. I mean, that's how good they look right now as it comes in for a high strike on Edwards. I mean, we can't overstate this enough, folks. I mean, this is against one of the best teams in the state for the last 5 years, Riverton. As Edwards chops one this time, no stretch fetch in play there for Cooper Williams. As Edwards has his second base knock of the night. And it's a 1-out single to get things going here for the Silverwolves in the bottom half of their 6th.
Now hitting number 9, Drake Pearsall.
Well, Edwards has had a pretty good day from a hitting perspective, 2 of 3.
I mean, you can only say the only thing that went wrong was the 3rd inning. That one comes high and inside there on Drake Pearsall from Hanson, 1 ball, no strikes. He's trying to go complete game.
Even if you take that 3rd inning out of contention, they're still up 4-1 in this game. And that's still a pretty comfortable lead considering how well Lee has been playing.
This one's off the end of the bat, but driven well out to left. Making the catch out there is the left fielder, Boston Draculich. There are quickly 2 gone now here in the inning. And Edwards will have to retreat to his post over at first.
How about that for a last name, Draculich?
Here comes Alex Vernon now. He's 0 for 2 today. 0 for 3 today, actually.
I'd like to point out Edwards has 2 of the 4 Riverton hits tonight. He has quite literally half of what Riverton's hits are equating to.
That's unreal in and of itself. That one bounces up to the plate in the dirt for ball 1.
And we went through that lineup and the averages during the regular season. It just feels like we're watching a completely different team.
There goes the runner. Throw down to second. Throw is there. He got it just ahead of the throw, did Zach Edwards. So 2-0 the count now. Of course, the Lehi fans not happy about it, but I would remind them to check the scoreboard right now what it is here in the bottom of the 6th.
I think they're rather grateful for the score they have.
2-0 pitch. Now once again bounces off the carpet. 3 balls and a strike now.
You know, from the get-go, Alex, it felt like Riverton would have these early opportunities off the walks that, you know, Hansen dealt them. But, like, as the innings went on closer and closer, and then once we got to the 3rd, it felt like it was just slowly and slowly dwindling in the opportunity Riverton had.
That's ball 4. As Alex Vernon draws a walk.
At the plate, number 6, Dylan Zulo.
Dylan Zulo now comes to the plate. We're going to have a pinch runner. And Talon Bruce now out there at first base for Alex Vernon.
Running number 14, Talon Bruce.
2 out here. Excuse me, 2 out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Runners on first and second. First time that Riverton's had some sustained traffic against Braden Hansen. As the pitching coach comes out to communicate the changes in the lineup, which I'm sure will be coming here in the top of the 7th inning.
I was going to say, we still have 2 more innings to go, don't we?
Yep.
Or I guess 2 more.
2 more half innings to go.
Correct.
That pitch by Zulo is swung on and missed. We'll be on the air tomorrow morning at the same time, 10:50, for 4 more games of the 6A baseball playoffs, the second round, and our elimination games. We'll determine the winners who will play in the semifinals, the winner's bracket, and then we'll determine who moves on to the second round of elimination games. Zulo smokes this one in the left center field gap. That's a base hit. Edwards will come around and score. They will hold the runner Bruce at second, or third rather. And an RBI single has made it 9-2 now in favor of Lehi. And that's the first hit with runners in scoring position tonight for the Riverton Silverwolves. And now there's 2 out and runners at the corners.
I mean, whenever Josh, our cameraman, gets a chance, he should pan over to the Lehi dugout. Everyone is standing just super contentious. And they are locked into this playoff game, Alex.
This one is lined to the right and a base hit. Run will score. Allred makes the aggressive turn. Zulo will stop at third. And finally, the Riverton Silverwolves are getting some traffic against Braden Hansen and paying it off, as it's a 9-3 game here in the bottom of the 6th. And up comes Dallin Ellison now.
The recent Salt Lake Community College commit for baseball. And there's a lot on Riverton, Alex. I forgot to touch on some of those guys that are going to be playing at SLCC next year.
It looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter sent out by Jay Applegate. Coleman Garn is going to take the place of Cohen Allred out there at first. There you see him there, number 13. He'll trot out now.
Running number 13, Coleman Garn.
2 runs already in here in this inning for Riverton. It's about time, as Eric Batson now is going to answer with a mound visit of his own to try and set the defensive alignment here, to try and prevent this crooked number from getting any more so.
The game is definitely not over yet.
No, it's not. I mean, that's a big base hit that
Couple of big base
Cohen
hits.
Allred just hit through the gap in left center field. And all of a sudden, Ty, a base hit here, we could be in a 9-4. We could be in a 9-4 game.
Very well could be. And especially with your designated hitter, Dallin Ellison. I mean, he's been clutch so far in the postseason. As I mentioned, 2 hits in every game during the postseason, and 2 RBIs to accompany those hits.
So we are approaching 10:30 local time here in Provo as the Riverton Silverwolves trying desperately to get something going in this final part of the 6th inning.
It's the loudest we've heard the crowd in a while.
Well, they got to give them something to do in a 9-3 game. Ellison fouls that one right back to the screen. Two runs already home in this inning on 3 base hits. Both coming via an RBI single from Cohen Allred and an RBI single from Dylan Zulo to make it a 9-3 game. And now Dallin Ellison, the DH, could really put a ping into this one. That one is just below the knees, as that one had to be snatched up a few inches. Runners at the corners, 2 out. 1-1 the count. 9-3 our score here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. That one is right at the knees this time for a strike.
He's getting Dallin's sweet spot low and away. And Dallin being very, very contentious on his takes.
1-2. Poked off the end of the bat to right. That ball is caught, and that will do it for this bottom half of the 6th inning. So the Riverton Silverwolves are able to get 2 runs in, but they can't get any further into this 6-run deficit. We head to the top of the 7th. Lehi up 9-3. Ready to start the final inning here tonight, as Rocky Downs, number 17, will take over on the mound for the Riverton Silverwolves, the left-hander.
And it is late, Alex.
And it is late, 10:20 p.m. local time here in Provo. We have been here since about 11 a.m. this morning, and it's been a long day, almost 12 hours. So Lehi leads 9-3. Riverton got 2 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the 6th inning, but they weren't able to push across 1 or 2 more. And they will remain trailing by at least 6 runs heading into the final half of the 7th inning. Rocky Downs, the lefty, will take over here to start proceedings here in the top of the 7th against Dawson Brown, the right fielder.
Leading off the Pioneers, number 14, Dawson Brown.
Brown been the part of that lineup that the Pioneers just have done so much damage all night long against this Riverton pitching staff. First pitch on the way from Downs is right at the knees for a strike. Oh, 1 pitch from Downs is grounded to the right side. Fair ball! Past the hot corner. And Brown is going to slide in with a stand-up lead-off double. And the hits just keep on coming.
Beautiful hit right down the third base line.
As Tanner Heaps now steps in. As the 7, 8, 9 hitters doing it again here for the Lehi Pioneers.
I'd like to point out, too, Tanner is the only guy who has not gotten on based off of a hit.
And that's
in
right.
The lineup.
He is now the only one that hasn't gotten a base hit yet. Heaps got his first base hit of the Brown got his first base hit of the night just now, and here comes Allred out to the mound to talk with Downs.
And I thought we were going to be talking about the stacked lineup of Riverton. Nope, it's Lehi.
No, we didn't expect this at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination. First pitch on the way, and Heaps fists this one back to the screen.
And I mean, I go back to what we talked about earlier too, Alex, is Lehi just waits for their pitches. And even if it's the right one, it's either fouled off or swung in play. There's no, like, swing and miss, it feels like, for this Lehi team.
That one's up high around the eyes. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're calm, they're cool, collected. They handled business with Edwards, and now they're going to have to handle business with American Fork tomorrow.
Still a long way to go yet. 6 runs and 3 outs is a long, long time. As this one's high and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Especially with how potent Riverton's lineup can be against the bullpens. They can turn a good outing into a nightmare pretty quickly.
Who would you guess would close for Lehi tonight?
I mean, why wouldn't you leave Braden Hansen in there to shut it?
That's very true.
That one is swung on and missed, strike 2.
I doubt he's very high in the pitch column, too.
He has to be closing in on a Maddox complete game, I think, in my book.
I'd say he's around like 90.
He probably is around there, you would think. Meanwhile, 2-2 the count here against Tanner Heaps, the first baseman. Runner at second, and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And so Tanner Heaps remains the only one and will probably go down in the book as the only one without a base hit tonight for Lehi.
Now hitting number 2, Gavin Yates.
And here comes the number 9 hitter in the order, Gavin Yates, who got everything started in that third inning with that infield single, and then everything just came unglued for the Silverwolves from there. Runner on second, 1 out. Downs has a look back at second, and the pitch is inside low, 1 ball, no strikes. Next pitch, grounded foul up the left side.
I'm trying to think, Alex, what are the theoretical positives of Riverton tonight? Would it be playing Syracuse?
I think based on what you're asking me, I think at least the pride factor is still there. I mean, getting those 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, I mean, that's a matter of pride, I think, in and of itself.
Agreed.
But you kind of wish they happened sooner. This is skied into right, into foul ground. Vernon has to make a quick adjustment over there, makes the catch, and there's quickly 2 down here as the runner will not tag in advance.
At the plate, number 21, Ozzie Williams.
So Ozzie Williams now comes up to plate here for the Lehi Pioneers, and I think, Ty, like we kept harping on it really throughout this last couple of innings here, is that Jay Applegate really at this point all he has to do is just keep his kids' heads up and tell them, hey, look, it's not the end of the world. We had an off night tonight. Now we just need to come back and do it again. Now we just need to come back and play better tomorrow. As Downs delivers this one through the hole. That's a base hit. That will score another run. An RBI single. And that should be the death knell here tonight. As the Riverton Silverwolves have given up 10 runs for the first time this season.
Is that the most runs we've seen in these 4 games? Double digits?
I believe that, yes, it is the most runs we've now seen. Well, the most runs we'd seen was 8 twice, but this is 9 was the most we'd seen, and now it's 10. And the unfortunate thing for Riverton fans is I don't think it's done yet. Especially with Mays Matson up at the plate, who is 3 for 3.
Well, this was also the game that we were going to project to be the closest. There's been
absolutely
3 closer games today.
Yeah, the 3 games before this were closer than this. 0-1 pitch, and time called by Madsen before the pitch was thrown. Mays Madsen, here's his numbers. He's walked twice, RBI triple, all 3 times he scored. He's 3 for 3. Madsen tries to bunt, and that goes onto the roof, so that means it's time for a late night edition of our Any Hour Services random roof ringers, as that one comes right off the tarp and down into the front row. All right, Ty, after this pitch here by Downs, which is swung on and lined into left, base hit. 4 for 4 is Mays Madsen tonight.
He's the boss.
I mean,
he's the boss man tonight,
he
Alex.
is. I mean, that is unreal. 4 for 4. He is on some kind of hot streak right now. As now Boston Draculich steps up to the plate. 15 hits against Riverton. I mean, this is becoming almost We're running out of superlatives, really, at this point, folks, to describe what's going on. Anyway, ball one. Ty, take it away with the Any Hour Services random roof ringer.
All right, well, I know your brain's probably fried after today, so I probably won't make you think too hard on this one. But
why do I think you're going to make me do it anyway, for goodness sake?
Let's see. So, actor Will Ferrell, love the guy, by the way.
Yes, Kings fan.
Played for 10 MLB teams in one day. Can you name all the teams that he played for?
Oh, my word. Okay. I know one of them was the Dodgers. I heard this story somewhere.
Okay, that's
the
one.
The Dodgers, the Angels, had to be two of them.
That's two.
Geez Louise. I mean... wasn't it the Mariners or something?
Yep, you got three. Keep going.
Okay, so the Dodgers, Angels, Mariners. No, Josh is trying to help me down here on this, but I'm trying to figure this out on my own.
It's not the Brewers.
One of them had to be Oakland.
It was Oakland, yes.
Okay, so four. Okay, so I got 4 of the 10. They all have to be West Coast teams, I would think. The Giants, that has to be. He had to play.
That is San Francisco Giants.
Yes, he had to be the Giants. I mean, who other teams are?
You're 5 for 5.
Who other teams are in California? I mean, like, I'm trying to think. All the West Coast teams and everything too.
Think down south.
Meanwhile, 2-2 the count with 2 outs and 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off of Draculich's inside leg, and so the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. I'm going to have to go with the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks, yes, that was another one. You're 6 of 6. Think South California.
Well, I think I might have already named all the South. Oh, well, I didn't name the Padres.
Yep, the Padres are on there. 7 of 7.
7 for 7, okay.
You got 3 more, and 2 of them are in the same city.
Anyway, here's the 2-2 pitch. This one's up high, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So you say the 2 of them are the same city, eh? I mean, 2 of them are in the same city. I mean, I already named the 2 Los Angeles teams, which is the Angels and the Dodgers.
There's more.
But there's 2 more that are in the same city. Here's the 3-2. Runners go on ball 4, and that will load the bases. So the bags are full of Pioneers again. As I'm trying to wrap my head around the last 3 teams that Will Ferrell played for one day, Ty tells me 2 of them are in the same city. I already named 2 of them, which is the Dodgers and the Angels.
I feel like if I give you a hint, you'll get the answer.
I mean, it would have to have been the 2 Chicago teams.
There you go.
The Sox and the Cubs.
9 of 9. You got 1 more.
Oh, man. Now I'm under pressure.
Now think history. Think baseball history.
Baseball history. I'll have to figure that one out.
Could you go for the perfect 10 out of 10?
This one is hit in the air to right. Coming over and making the catch. And the side is retired here. In the top of the 7th, so the drama builds for a different reason. We're going to find out if I go 10 for 10 on this. As we try to solve our Any Hour random roof ringer of the night. We'll be back with the bottom of the 7th inning. Lehi leading 10-3 on the Rewind Sports Network. Ty and I will wrap up the entire day and select our choice for the Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game. Presented by the full-service law firm that is committed to winning for you, the client. As Caleb Crutchfield will come on to close things down here in the 9th with this out of hand the way it is in a 10-3 ball game. We're trying to solve our Any Hour Services random roof ringer of the night. Ty gave me the challenge. Will Ferrell played for 10 MLB teams in one day on a whim, and I picked 9 of them correct so far. The only hint he gave me for the 10th one was dig back into baseball history.
So you got White Sox, Athletics,
Mariners.
Yes.
So we have the Chicago teams, the Chicago White Sox and the Cubs. We have the Mariners, A's. We have the Dodgers and the Angels. That's
Correct.
6. And then we have the Giants and the Padres. That's 8. And then we have the Diamondbacks, which is 9.
That is true. So you're missing 1 more.
So missing 1 more from a historical perspective.
And you're not even looking at Google. I'm actually paying attention. The viewers probably think you're bull crapping and looking on the computer.
No,
or something.
I am not, and I am literally not looking
Yep.
right now. I am literally not looking at a computer.
I can attest, ladies and gentlemen, Alex is not.
So Gage Woods will lead off, and as we do that, I'm going to give my guess.
All right, let's do it.
The 10th team he played for, if you're digging back into history, was probably... Was it a team that is it a team that currently exists?
It is a team that currently exists.
Okay, so I'm not. So you're not BSing me here with the or bull cruding me here with the.
It has
the Expos or
it has
something.
many known players, I will say, and a lot of history in the ball club.
That pitch is right there from Crutchfield for a strike. Okay, my guess is the Yankees.
It is not the New York Yankees.
It's not. Who is it?
The Cincinnati Reds.
Really, the Red Stockings of all things. The Cincinnati Red Stockings of all things.
Wow.
Is that what is cut on and missed for strike 2? I got 9 of them, though.
Nine is very impressive, Alex, I will say. Like, straight.
Well, I had to. Well, I already knew he played for the West Coast team.
Right.
Because he's from Los Angeles. So I already knew as Woods strikes out on 3 pitches, good morning, good afternoon, and goodbye. With 1 out now for Caleb Crutchfield here in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and a 10-3 lead here for the Lehi Pioneers. And as the Riverton Silverwolves just trying to show some pride here, down 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Down to their last 2 outs as well.
Crutchfield misses low with that first pitch, ball 1.
Credit where credit's due, Alex. That was very good for, kind of just guessing out there. Like, I could have easily been like, no.
Like I said, I knew he's from California. Will
Right.
Ferrell's from Los Angeles. He's a Kings fan, and he's a lifelong SC fan. You already knew the 2 teams that were going to be off my list was the Los Angeles teams, the Halos and the Dodgers.
Right.
As this is chopped back up the middle. Good pick by Madsen. Throw to first. Got him. What a play. The 6-3 put out, and there are quickly 2 gone now here in the bottom of the 7th. But I will tell you this, Ty. As soon as you brought up Will Ferrell's name, I knew immediately it had to have been all the teams in California.
Yeah.
It had to have been all the teams in California.
It's a very telltale sign.
Because he's from that area. So immediately comes to mind, you think of all the California teams, but I had no idea he got a quote-unquote contract, air quotes around that far east. This one is cut on and missed for strike 1.
I feel like I misled you with the history because you either could have gone Red Sox or Yankees.
Well,
Maybe.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Red Sox or Yanks. That's the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, that one came in and hit him. Look out. And that hit him square on the elbow, Cohen Allred. That's going to leave a big fat mark tomorrow morning.
See, I was definitely thinking more on the Pete Rose side, so that's my apology.
As we're going to have a pinch runner here. This is Blake Wild. And Zach Edwards now comes up to the plate.
Well, 2 of 3 tonight.
I mean, but he has a third of the hits that the Riverton Silverwolves had. The other 2 hits that led to runs came in from Dylan Zulo and Cohen Allred.
Right.
But other than that, it has been all Lehi Pioneers here this evening. Truly shocking. That one is off the corner, ball 1. No one in the bullpen either side as we're approaching 10:45 local time here in Provo. A long one at that. We've been here since, I've been here since about 9 o'clock this morning. Ty has been here since about 10:30, and
Yep.
Josh has been here since about 10:15, so we've all been here for quite a while as Edwards cuts on that one and misses 2 balls and a strike.
Dare I say I completely forgot that we're in Provo right now.
Shame on you, because I'm driving you home afterwards, and you
Yeah,
better remember where you
I
are, because I
know.
don't want to come pick you up in the middle of an alleyway at 3 in the morning tonight. That one is swung on and missed, and now Edwards and the Silverwolves are down to their final strike. And the noise will rise. Some of the Lehi fans coming to their feet. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to first. That will get through the hole to the right side. Applegate will throw on the stop sign to the runners at first and second. And we're not quite pow just yet this evening.
At plate number 9, Drake Pearsall.
So Drake Pearsall now comes in for the Riverton Silverwolves as he will now stand in the way of Caleb Crutchfield being the last one to go here this evening.
Should be your bonus.
2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch. This one is hit in the air to right. Falling fast. In the air. That's going to drop. 1 run at least will score. Edwards will stop at third rather. Pearsall comes to second with an RBI double. And the Riverton Silverwolves at least have something to build on for tomorrow with another RBI, and it makes it a 10-4 game now here.
You could argue still building with Alex Vernon coming up.
Yeah, but they'll need to get something pretty quick here. Crutchfield, first pitch is jammed foul over into the temporary bleachers over in right.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
4 runs, 8 hits, and an error on the ledger for Riverton. 10 runs on 15 hits for Lehi. 0-1 pitch is fouled onto the roof again.
We'll see if we have enough time.
We'll see if we have enough time for another random roof ringer here tonight, as that one rolled off the tarp on the other side of the field. The 0-2 pitch. Outside ball 1, so we're not quite done just yet.
All right, Alex, you ready? Let's do this one quick. Before each game, all Major League Baseballs were rolled around in a special mud at a secret location in which state?
I'm going to have to think about that one, as that one is up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm thinking the Toledo Mud Hens here were synonymous with their name. I'm going to say it was in Ohio.
It was not in Ohio.
Where was it?
It was in New Jersey. Believe it or not.
How in the world do you get mud in New Jersey, though? That's the thing.
I don't know. It was in 1920, so they managed to find something.
As meanwhile, behind the plate, we have a balk called on Crutchfield. So it makes it a 10-5 game. That's the first balk we've had all day long, and it's called against Caleb Crutchfield. So 2 runs have come across to score now in this inning. 2-2 pitch on the way. This one is high and outside, 3-2, so the count goes full here on Alex Vernon. Three-two pitch. Foul right back to the screen off the top of the barrel.
Staying alive.
Dylan Zulo stands on deck. Tyne run, though, is still far, far off in that dugout. 3-2 pitch. Right side foul. And that's into the Helaman Halls parking lot. Runner on third with 2 out and a 10-5 game, and the Riverton Silverwolves down to their last strike and their last out. The full count payoff. Ball 4.
Well.
And we are not done yet. As Zulo will step up to the plate now, and Colin Allred comes up as well. Eric Madsen pops right out of the dugout as Jay Applegate going to make another switch, I think, out there with the pinch runner. Alex Vernon's going to be out.
I feel like they let him close out the inning, Alex. I think it's getting too late to the point that there's not another point in bringing in another closer unless this becomes a 3-point game.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, unless this becomes a 3-run game, I mean, you have to figure both sides have burned through at least a good chunk of their bullpens here, and we're only in the first day of this tournament.
Right. And you don't want to go completely all out.
So, a pinch runner comes out now. That's Joby Brady, number 26. Over at first, so Dylan Zulo now with a chance to...
At plate number 6, Dylan Zulo.
With a chance to maybe cut the lead. First pitch on the way is high and outside, ball 1. That one is cut on a miss, strike 1.
It's a big hack, too.
I mean, he was going for it. Dylan Zulo, RBI single back in the 6th inning. Seems like a long time ago now. 1-1 pitch. Tip back to the screen, and once again, the Riverton Silverwolves are down to their final strike. Can Caleb Crutchfield finally put down those Silverwolves in the 7th and get his team into the next round? Yes!
And that's the final. The Lehi Pioneers 10, the Riverton Silverwolves 5. Lehi will play tomorrow night, 7 p.m. They will play the American Fork Cavemen. And
in a day that has seen the unexpected, we have just seen the most unexpected. The Lehi Pioneers take down the Riverton Silverwolves, relegating them to the losers bracket. Ty and I will be back to wrap everything up from an action-packed day 1 on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Well, we are back here at Larry H. Miller Field after nearly 12 hours of baseball. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson wrapping it all up for you. The final score in this, our final game of the day, Lehi 10, Riverton 5. Ty, first of all, before we get to anything, it's time to name our Heinemann Associates player of the game. We know exactly who's getting it tonight. Mays Madsen, 4 for 4. Walked 2 times, RBI triple, a single, and an RBI double. He had himself a game. He took 13 total bases tonight.
And I told you too, Alex, he showed up in the most probably crucial game, at least of the season so far, I should say, for Lehi. Again, he bats .422. I guarantee you that's going up at the end of tonight. And that's what it takes to be a leader. He leads his team in hits, leads his team in walks. And what else could you ask for out of a guy who basically takes a game into his own hands like Mays Madsen did tonight?
So now let's put a bow on day 1 here, Ty, before we go here. It's been a long day, 12 hours of baseball, but we get to do it all again tomorrow.
Yep.
But I think the overarching storyline of day 1, the underdogs today, really came to play, especially Lehi. If you had told me before we had come into this ballpark that Lehi would have had 15 hits against one of the best pitching staffs in the state, someone would have gotten slapped upside the head.
I would completely agree. But not just that, but also the pitching, courtesy of Braden Hansen as well. He served about, 6 innings and only allowed close to around 4 hits all night against arguably one of the best lineups in 6A for hitting. We went through it earlier in the game. We have 3 guys on Riverton that are batting .400. And, plenty that are above 300, so it's just wild to me. The fact that the pitching of Braden Hansen combined with just the hit. Lehi was incredible tonight on both ends, defensively and offensively.
So what does this set up now for day 2, Ty? Because going into tomorrow, you have Riverton playing in the elimination game, which I don't think anybody would have expected coming into today.
Right.
But you also have now in the semifinal, or the second round of this playoff, you have Lehi against American Fork, an all-Region 3 showdown. This Lehi team is really dangerous right now.
They're extremely dangerous. I don't think American Fork is going to be prepared. They only had 3 runs tonight. And, if they don't wake up and they don't wake up their bats, it's going to be an interesting competition to see because I will admit Syracuse's pitching was good, but do you think Lehi's could have been better tonight?
I don't think they could have been any better than they did tonight, honestly. Except for maybe the 7th inning.
Correct.
They could not have been any better, I think, tonight.
But I will say, Alex, it's going to be a different day tomorrow. You wake up, the sun rises. It's a completely different story for either side of the team. One team takes a positive, the other team also takes a positive. And it's just going to be a pitching battle, I would say, between Lehi and American Fork, because you know the boys are going to bring the rakes, and they're going to bring them hard, too.
So, Ty, before we sign off, we want to thank, of course, Josh Dodge for filling in tonight for Wilson Gustafson. Wilson will be here tomorrow.
Huge thanks to Josh.
Yes, huge thanks to Josh. But we would be very, very remiss if we did not once again remember our friend Dusty Litster, who's probably watching from the hospital tonight. We know he's going through a lot right now. And, you know, Ty, we wouldn't be here without him. We know he would have wanted to be here today, but we are so honored to be in his seat, and we are so honored we get to do this for the rest of this week. And I honestly can't wait for the rest of this. And, Dusty, all I'm going to say is we love you, man. We really do. And we miss you.
We've been wearing the wristbands all day long, to and through, and we'll do it the same thing tomorrow and the next day.
Thank you, all of you, for joining us for 12 hours of consecutive baseball. It was a fun first day. Now the real work begins, and we start with an elimination showdown between Davis and Mountain Ridge. Catch us tomorrow morning, 11 a.m., bright and early, here on the Rewind Sports Network. Now for Ty Wilkinson, for Josh Dodge, and for Vince Francis off-site, helping us with our technical difficulties and all in between this afternoon and evening. This has been a presentation of the UHSAA playoffs on your home for all UHSAA championships, KSL Sports Rewind. Until tomorrow, get some rest, everyone. We thank you for joining us. Aloha from Utah, and good night.
Let's go home.